What's going on, guys? It's GZ. Welcome to my channel. So I did find the new SSA somewhat useful for Demon Hunter, at least for speed builds, which I normally use for normal dungeons and terror rifts. And I also compared it with my old speed build, so I will be showcasing it first to you guys, the dummy damage testing and also the speed run of this new build versus the old one, and then we will get into the build setup. So on the left side we have my new speed builds with the poison of smoke screen, and on the right side I have my old builds which I have been using for the longest time, honestly. And I wanted to try the new one out, and also I wanted to know that if the new one has a higher damage output. And by the way, if you guys are wondering about my old builds, it is out there on my channel in playlist of builds for Diablo Immortal, so you can check that out. But I wanted to show you guys the difference here as well. Also, we will be running the normal dungeon to see which one actually perform battle in real time action. So versus the dummy, I can clearly see that my old build has higher damage output, and also I think I break my strafe a lot of time while I was testing, which added a lot more damage. So that is also why there was a damage gap there, because I'm using Swan of Gold or Seas of Swan, whatever the name of that set is. I will show you guys in a second. And then this is a normal Inferno 5 dungeon on both sides. Here what I have noticed is, since I have no damage over time on my old build, which is on the right side, it takes me to hit a lot more compared to the left side with the poison. Enemies were dying a lot easier. I felt that it was quite faster if it shows in the video, but overall I have been playing with the new builds in Terror Rift as well, and I feel like versus the horde of monsters, when there's a dozens of them you're fighting against, they die a lot faster. So even though it has less damage compared to my old builds, this one somewhat is performing better when the monster density is higher. So for that reason I am really liking it. And since it has no cooldown and you can keep it up like 100% uptime, this is really nice. And I will show you guys my builds in a second after this testing, but I really don't want it to share it with you guys before you actually try out the build, so you would know the cons and pros. And there we go. Even though the damage output versus dummy was somewhat less, they were quite tied with one another. So overall, this new build is really nice, and let's get into it. So for the Paragon setup, I am using same as always: Uncanny, Unseen Dynamism, Careful Aim, and Lone Wolf. And this is somewhat the movement speed you are going to get with this build, which is really nice. So keep in mind, if you don't watch the video and just tell me, GZ, this build sucks, because you didn't watch the video, me saying this is speed builds, not the damage build, then it is not my fault. So yeah, that's that. But anyway, this is the movement speed which you will be getting, and the damage output is nice. And for the warband buff versus the dummy, this is what I was using, the attacker, to show you guys the damage output. But when I did my speed run in dungeon, I was using protector, so I can have more movement speed. But you can go with whatever that you like. So now let's get into the builds that I am using. But before that, let me show you guys my gems. Voice Spark rank 6 is what I am using. Monscar rank 10. Rank 6 Gloom. Rank 6 Bloodsoaked Jade. Portal Hub rank 6. Wolf Horde rank 7. Rolling Consequence rank 7. And Fervent Fang rank 10. Also, my secondaries are really solid, and I emphasize on getting the critical chance, so that is nice as well. And also I have these runes here on my offhand, the orange one, which gives me extra 8% critical chance because I have that on both of them. So that is that. Hold on, but this is what my secondary look like. And for the reforge setup, let me quickly show it to you guys. On all my gear pieces, this is what my reforge looks like for PvE. And the skills and essences, let's get into them. And yeah, crossbow shot, smoke screen, daring swing, strafe, vengeance. So the first set I am using here is Seas of Swan Gold. So this is what I was saying, that I actually break my strafe a lot of time with the multi-shot builds, which was my old builds. That is why the damage output was somewhat a little higher, because continually channeling a skill against the same enemy gradually increase the damage of that skill up to a maximum of 30%. Also, after you stop channeling a skill, enemies hit by it takes an additional explosion of damage for 30% of the damage. So yeah, there was a slight mistake by me happened there. Then the set item for the second buff which I'm using is Reduce Arch for increased beneficial duration and increased attack speed. So that is that. And now let's talk about the essences. We are using this helm here so we can get increased movement speed. For the daring swing, I am using daring swing and with this shoulder, so we don't need to jump. Instead, daring swing now empowers your primary attacks to fire binding rope that ricochet between enemies. So this is what I was using. Then we are obviously using the creeping demise, a new pent. For smoke screen, now infuse your weapon with toxin, causing your primary attacks to poison enemies and trigger toxic explosion on critical hits. And for the strafe itself, sinful vigor, so you can have your energy last longer. And the main hand weapon is Skull Shrieker is what we are using here. Smoke screen also increases the primary attack speed by 38%. So since we are not using Trample Hope anymore, this is accommodating with the attack speed. And Unrelenting Fury to extend the duration of our strafe by 39%. Then Painsover, of course, for the strafe. So strafe now fires your primary attacks focus at the nearest enemy. And finally, I am using Hungerer so I can penetrate my poison into a lot of enemies. Or you could actually go with another offhand, which is a new one. I don't possess that at the moment. Crossbow shot deals 28.5% increase damage to poison enemies, so you can further extend your damage. So these are my builds, and with this I'll see you guys in my next one. Give it a try and let me know how you guys like it, and until then, take care, have fun, and bye guys.